Wake up, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Always subscribe and follow us on Facebook. Today's episode, we're calling it the distance learning episode. Parents, any of you going through distance learning with your kids at home, I'm sure you'll be able to relate as we both juggle distance learning while podcasting. We discuss the issues with it, try to steer away from politics. That's not happening. And of course, we always throw in football because kickoff is right around the corner. Because kickoff is today. I obviously forget that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight was postponed as I've been a little distracted, like I said, distance learning. Before we get started, on to our affiliates. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to begin your podcast. Sign up with Buzzsprout through the link in our show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card after your second month. Using the equipment that you already have in a quiet space, upload to Buzzsprout and your episodes are available everywhere podcasts are found. Apple, Google, Pandora, Spotify, and more. Instacart. Hundreds of grocers now at the ready to hand select items of your choosing. It's super easy. Use the app or head over to instacart.com to check them out. Ready to order? Follow the link in our show notes and let them know we sent you. Essential items, office supplies, groceries, and even contactless delivery. Instacart has you covered. And today is sponsored by Rosie Cooks Gourmet Catering, located in the greater wine country of Northern California. Rosie Cooks was built off the passion for the culinary arts and is shared throughout the staff. From weddings to corporate events, gourmet packaged boxed lunches, wine pairings, and private events. The team at RC collectively challenge one another and deliver mouth-watering menus every time. Check them out at www.roseyycooks.com on Facebook and Instagram. ROSEYCOOKS. And finally, Newness Productions for all your film and photography needs, from social media, promos, and commercials. Wedding films and photography. NewnessProductions.com. NEWNESS Productions.com. Now, let's just get on with it.
Tell them about the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie?
Who you calling butthead? Butthead.
Y'all talking about? Y'all talking about me?
You take drugs, Danny? Every day.
This is ridiculous. It's crazy. I feel like I'm babysitting, except I'm not getting
I've
paid.
heard police work is dangerous.
It is, that's why I carry a big gun.
Aren't you afraid it might go off accidentally?
I used to have that
What
problem.
did you do about it?
I just think about baseball.
Declare.
Who's choking these things?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
I gotta go to college. Danny, this isn't Russia.
For a disaster of biblical
What he means is Old Testament, Mr. Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
Dead rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
That's what she said.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
I think I was wearing this exact same jersey
You were.
last time. And there's a good goddamn reason, too. You know, they were on that streak. Celtics were on this streak of just tearing through fools. And then, I kid you not, and I don't know, I'm sort of superstitious. I'm a little stitious. I'm not, you know.
I'm a little. I actually have a sweatshirt with Michael Scott on it that has that quote. It's great.
So anyways, the one game I left my hat behind that I didn't wear, they lost. And then they lost again. And I'm like, no. So
Now
anyways,
they're in game seven now, right?
Game
Oh my
7,
gosh.
round 2.
They had it if not have been for that freaking turnover with 24 seconds left the other night.
Dude, Jaylen Brown, if he would have hit just, I don't know, just 5 to 10% more of his shots, they would have won that game. He missed everything. Going nuts, man. Going nuts.
I'm sorry. You're much more vested in basketball than I am.
I am. Have you? Okay. So before you cancel your Netflix account because of cuties,
Okay. Yeah.
that's out, by the way.
I saw that, and it's got a ton of backlash. And right now, they're like there's this huge movement on social media to get a bunch of signatures to demand Netflix take it off, because apparently they show like a minor's like nipple.
Yeah, they're saying that it is worse than what they tried to play down. And again, I keep coming back to it where they're their message is that sexualizing 11-year-olds is bad. And I keep saying it. I don't need that message. I know that message. I think everybody should know that message already. Pretty sure we all know that.
We all know that. But in California, did you see that they passed Senate Bill 145? It was the sex offender bill. It says that if you have a relationship with a minor and you're within like a 10-year age difference, you don't have to register as a sex offender.
No, is that the bill where it's between 15 to 25?
Yes. So let's say you are a 24-year-old. You could technically have a 15-year-old girlfriend, and you would not be required to register as a sex offender if the sex was consensual.
Until you're 25.
What do you mean?
Well, so say you're dating a 14-year-old and you're 24. Apparently that's, or no, not a 14-year-old, because it has to be 15. So say you're dating a 15-year-old when you're 24. According to the law, if you turn 25 and you're still dating that person and it's not consensual, well, I guess I don't know how that would work, but
no, because if let's say you turn 25 and they're also turning 16, right? You'd still be within that 10-year range. So you wouldn't have to.
It's all sick.
Throughout the whole relationship. It is sick. It's terrible. You could literally it's terrible. It's just really bad.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but closer and closer, man. We're looking at getting out of here.
I literally, like, if I were to pull up my realtor search history right now, yeah, Nashville is high on that list just because of my love for music. And like, dude, I was looking at a freaking 3-bedroom, 3-bath home, like built only 10 years ago on a 1/4-acre lot, $250,000. And it's gorgeous. In California, that home goes for $500,000.
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's Gab was looking at homes in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Is that north?
It's beach. So it's right on the beach. And kind of around the Austin area, possibly. I was kind of looking more San Antonio if we go to Texas.
Super cheap to live there.
But honestly, number one on our list is still Missouri. We keep falling back. It's like, if we're going to move anywhere for a change, I know Missouri. I've been there multiple times. I've been throughout all the weathers, from literally the high heat to the dead of winter when I flew into Kansas City, and I threw my suitcase. It was out of the rollers, and I threw it on the pavement of the parking lot, and it just fell to its side and slid for about a good 8 parking spots because it was all ice.
Yeah.
So
you can handle it. And that's the number one thing that they say when you're moving out of state you need to do. You need to go during all 4 seasons so you get a really good feel for it. The only other state I've done that with is Arizona. The summers suck. The winters are freaking nice. And I love Flagstaff area in Arizona because it's not like your typical, you don't think of, when you think of Arizona, you think of desert and you think of the Grand Canyon, right? Just desolate. But you go to Flagstaff, tons of freaking awesome trees, really beautiful. It's gorgeous up there.
Yeah, they've got some good areas out there. I know Sedona's pretty miraculous. But with where was I going with that? Oh, well, what we were talking about was what's the worst things about moving, and it's like, what do we have to deal with here in California versus what would we have to deal with anywhere else? And it always comes down to, if we go to Texas, we're going to have to deal with tornadoes every once in a while, or hurricanes, because it's there's part of Texas
Hurricane season.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
So, and that's why I was telling Gab, I was like, maybe not right on the beach, maybe like within an hour or two, where most of the hurricanes kind of die down after a little while. But I know then there's a piece of Texas that has Tornado Alley. And I know Missouri gets a little bit of, every once in a while they get some tornadoes. But I was telling Gabby, what we have to deal with here in California, especially the past 5-7 years, at least in hurricanes, snow, you can breathe. Because right now, I don't mean to sound like a little bitch, but I woke up yesterday morning and I was like, holy crap. My throat really hurt. My sinuses were just crushing my skull. And it was all because of the smoke. And we literally drove around in the van because we wanted to filter the air through the van's filtration system just to kind of like get some sort of filtered air.
Right. Think about the damage that's doing to your vehicle too, right? Like you got the air filters and the cabin filter, right? And so, oh gosh, you're gonna have to change those out like first second that all this clears up. I was looking.
When's that gonna happen?
I was looking at freaking meteorology reports, and the smoke on the entire West Coast is literally making its way to the East Coast because of like the air currents and stuff. I'm not a meteorologist person, but the only place that isn't like experiencing that right now is Idaho.
Yeah.
It's literally the only state.
It's funny that you said that. I talked to my brother yesterday because we literally were saying, 2 more days of this, we've got to get out of here. Like for a couple days, we've got to clear our lungs. We've got to go rent an Airbnb somewhere. And I was trying to think where to go. Nevada's still full of smoke here and there. And then Vegas has some smoke when it blows in. So my brother lives in Twin Falls. And I was like, hey, well, how's it up there? And he says, it's clean. He's like, come on up. So we might, if it gets this bad, but we checked the map yesterday or the day before yesterday, because it was so smoky around our house. It was happening so fast that we literally thought there was a fire like right around us. Like we were almost like in the middle of it, and we could smell campfire.
Yeah, dude. My dad's up in Arnold, right? And he was thinking the same thing. He's like, there's a fire somewhere around here. That's affecting us.
Well, there's one near Arnold up there. There's one kind of off towards the El Dorado forest.
Yeah.
Then there's one down near Moccasin, down near Copper. And then there's but anyways, we looked up the map and we started zooming out because it was showing red spots all where the active fires are. We're zooming out. We're like, zoom out from fucking Colorado, bro. If you look at the map right now, from Colorado all west, it looks like the gods hate us or something. Like it is like burning the West Coast off.
Yeah.
And the entire West Coast.
I hate to say it, but my dad.
No, you don't.
Yeah, well, it's the shit, dude. There were fires 10, 20 years ago.
What happened to your camera?
What?
What happened to your camera?
What happened?
Where are you?
Good. Where am I?
Oh, there you are.
There I'm at. What the fuck happened? That was weird.
Tried to focus on something.
Yeah.
You must have a ghost. Yeah, something sitting next to you.
This house was
haunted.
Built.
Yeah.
This house was built in 1908, so it's very, very fucking possible.
Oh, I'm without a doubt. Like I would believe it.
Yeah, dude. Like when my dad.
I got a creepy feeling when I drove by your house.
Dude, when this house was first bought, they did like a little like ceremony for this little like made up girl that they created to get the spirits out.
Oh, wonderful. That's just their gentle way of putting it to you that a little girl
all they found in the basement was like a can of baked beans and then a picture of a little girl. So what they did was they put like a stool in the middle of the basement and the can of baked beans with the picture leaning up against it, and we're like praying. It was
oh my god, that's creepy as shit.
So
oh bro, so My ex-wife's dad is or was a correctional officer.
Uh-huh.
I think he's one of those, and he was in the army. He's one of those dudes that's real quiet, but could handle himself, and him and his neighbor always had this thing going on with this thing called, I think they called it creepy doll. And it was like this doll that they kept like singeing the hairs off of and like making it super creepy. And then they would hide it around each other's house, back and forth, and scare the shit out of each other. One of the times there was the neighbor, he was hiding the doll in the backyard. Well, my ex's dad was taking the trash out, and he had thought somebody was breaking into their backyard. Picked this dude up, like snatched him up because he was all hooded and stuff. He's trying to hide the doll in the window, and he picked this dude up and dropped his face on the edge of the barbecue. And before he went to go do it again, he guy's like yelling, it's me, like he's bleeding. He had 2 black eyes. I think he broke his nose. Like, that was basically at the end of Creepy Doll.
Yeah, that's
it. It went
that would
a little
stop anything.
But I mean,
that would stop a friendship.
Like, that, I mean, warranted. If you see somebody hooded in the backyard looking through your windows, I mean, I would have taken him out too. Like, it's just you. Yeah. Anyways. That's what it reminded me. Your little praying ritual girl reminded me of that story.
Well, your story reminds me of another story. Oh my gosh, my daughter is distance learning, and I'm kind of in charge. Yes, you have 5 minutes until you got to get on Zoom.
You know what that just reminded me? Is I have a beer here.
Yeah, that'll make the problem go away. I'm gonna refill my coffee, which, by the way, is brought to you today by Starbucks. Cafe Verona. What? It's pretty freaking delicious, dude. It's got dark cocoa taste to it. So I used to work for Starbucks, and one of the first coffees I had was this. And you pair it with anything chocolate, and it makes the chocolate food stand out that much more.
Bailey's Irish Cream.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
you don't see what's in my cup, but it might be spiked.
Well, today's coffee for me is brought to you by Newfound Glory Craft Brewery. Do you even Mosaic? Is that what it is?
New Glory. It's not Newfound Glory. Newfound Glory is the band. It's New Glory.
New Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It was like, it's like putting on a seatbelt saying that, when I saw New Glory, I just clicked.
It's all downhill from here. Sorry, you gotta do the nasally voice.
Yeah. Oh man. Have you seen that one skit where it's like the guy that says all you have to do to be a 90s band is sing all throaty, he hi hi ho you ho
with arms wide open.
Yeah. That was it. That was it. So we went off on a little tangent there.
We do that.
Yeah, it happens. It's okay. You allow me to channel my inner ADD.
It's not a good thing, but for podcasting and doing that, it kind of is, because you could run this shit
all day,
for days,
all day. I could honestly just talk for days. It's just whatever you're into. Well. So we went from sports. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Did we go to sports?
Yeah. Game 7 tonight.
A little bit of yeah. Okay.
Then we had last night. What did you think of that game?
Really disappointing.
I think I picked the Texans on our weekly pick'ems, didn't I?
You did. I picked Kansas City. I knew that would happen. Dude, but David Johnson, he came back from the dead. He did really good for considering he hasn't been a good player since 2016.
Wow, that's good.
Right? Wait, what beer is that again? Name it.
You even Mosaic, bro. IPA.
No, I haven't had that one. New Glory though is really outstanding though.
Yeah, that's really good. Surprising. My buddy brought me, you should try it if you haven't. It's oh man, it's it's a hazy heretic, I think, IPA.
Heretic.
Mm-hmm. That was really good. That was one of the best beers I had in a long time.
Is it by Heretic Brewery?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. They're a great brewery. They actually got they got an award a couple years ago, I think it was 2018, where they got best craft brewery by the California State Fair or Cal Expo. Yeah, they're like from the Valley, and they're like kind of in a conservative area. They also have got the Make America Juicy again.
Yeah. Oh no, that's
IPA.
what it was. That's what it was.
It was
the Make America Juicy again.
Juicy Hazy. That's a really good one.
That was the one that we drank. That's right. That's I think that's on the cover of episode 10. Anyways, well, yeah, Game 7 tonight. So I need to get a little buzz going because whether it goes, I mean, it depends on how my mood's going to be tomorrow. Is tonight.
Yeah.
Because we're out or we're in. That's it. This is it.
It's gonna be good, man. And is it shaping up to be the Celtics Lakers matchup that you called at the beginning here?
If Boston can get their shit together and pass the ball
one game,
really pass the ball around. If they can get it together and hit shots and make them move and tire them out, we can probably see. We'll probably see LA and Boston in the finals, maybe.
You don't want to jinx it. I get it.
Oh, I'm so. I just watched before you cancel Netflix. I watch The Last Dance.
The Last Dance, is that
the Michael Jordan
documentary series?
I just binged that thing, man. That is poetic. Well, I mean, seriously, and this is the trick. Don't watch it with kids awake. You have to pay attention. It's absolutely incredible. If anybody's ever had a doubt in their mind, who's the greatest of all time, watch that documentary and that'll answer it for you and why. I mean, he did some unreal things and how it happened. You know Steve Kerr, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know he was on the Bulls, right?
Yep.
Okay. So did you know that his dad took a job in Beirut at a campus? I think he was like the president, and he was shot in the head for like basically being American. And Steve Kerr found this out while he was playing for the Bulls.
It's nuts.
That's insane. There's so much information and backstories in that documentary that are absolutely just incredible. So if you're a sports fan of any kind, you'll respect it and appreciate it. And it's like Michael Jordan talking a lot too. You get a real insight of who he was, and he was an asshole to his teammates. But
it was because he expected the most out of them. He wasn't going to just allow mediocre play on his watch.
Correct. And, watching that made me realize there's two types of ways to win a championship on a basketball team, especially on a basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have the teams that were like the Celtics of the 80s, where it was semi on one guy, but it was mostly the whole team. You have a bunch of good guys, Golden State Warriors, you can't heavily rely on one key guy or just three key guys. It was like a whole team, it was a dynamic. Mm-hmm. But then you have, and it's a positive dynamic, but then you have the other team style that can win a championship, which was like what I would use the analogy of like militant. It's like a SEAL team. And that's kind of, if you think of it in that aspect, with Michael Jordan, he expected his people to show up, held them accountable, and he held himself to even more higher standards. And he never held anybody else to a standard that he couldn't achieve himself. And he was on his team to be responsible. And I mean, he was an asshole, but what he did there was he weeded out, like they do like in SEAL training and stuff.
You weed out the weak links.
Yep. You weed out the people that can't hack it and aren't there to show up and work hard and put in every ounce of effort into every single battle. And so those are your two styles of champions. And it kind of makes sense too, if you think about it. Like when you see certain things like LeBron and he's on his guys, or Kobe, you know. Anyways,
Mamba mentality, man.
But Mamba mentality came from Jordan, and that's what Kobe's in the documentary too. And he says that everybody says, "Oh, I could have taken Michael," and he says himself, he goes, "You got to understand, I'm only here because he drove me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the one that drove me. So he didn't think so." Anyways, it's an incredible documentary.
I've watched like the first 2 episodes, I think, of that. But again, distracted through parenting duties. And the first 2 episodes, absolutely loved it. Just seeing the background stuff that you don't see on the court, I love it. I think it's really interesting facts and just shit that you got to think of. So,
yeah, it's interesting stuff, buddy. So, how's your? What's your take on this social distancing? Not the social distancing. This distance learning. How are you doing?
Oh, distance learning. I don't like it.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
It literally, dude. I hate to say it, and I don't want to be seeming disrespectful towards teachers, because they have some very powerful unions that, God, man, they protect their own, and it makes perfect sense. Like, hey, you're not thinking about the lives of these teachers. Well, that's not true at all. You got to look at the freaking statistics. You look at the age groups of 0 to 18 years old, there are big, fat fucking goose egg, at least in my county, of kids who have died from this virus. You look at the people who have died from this virus, you see that it is, in my county, if you have diabetes or cardiovascular disease, you have an 8% chance of dying if you contract the virus. I did the math, at least in my county. But for everyone else, less than 1%, less than 0.5%, if you're in the age groups of, anything less than 50 years old, which a lot of teachers are in that category. I just don't think that the damage being done, not just to the economy, but to people's lives. You got to think, man, you got freaking kids that are stuck at home with abusive parents that would otherwise be reporting this information to their teacher or their school counselor or stuff like that. You got to think about the suicide rate. It's increasing. You've got more kids that are abusing substances because what the hell do they have to do? Nothing. So what? They go after school, get their drugs, whatever. I don't know. It's a compounding of things. Are we doing more damage than we are doing good? And right now, in my county, we've dropped 20% of people in the hospital. We now at Lodi Memorial Hospital have only 88 patients in the entire hospital beds.
We were never flooded, though. I thought we were never flooded.
We were never flooded, but the reason why we appeared flooded for a second is because this hospital dedicated an entire floor or wing to COVID patients. Okay, great. See, this distance learning stuff sucks.
Oh, bro, you know, you don't have to tell me. In fact, maybe I should just leave this whole, I shouldn't even edit any of this out, because I'm sure there's other parents that feel this too. What I'm frustrated about is these kids have to be connected to the internet, stationary, for the majority of the day. So what happens with single parents? How are single parents doing this? Imagine if you and your wife were split up right now and one of you was just the weekend parent. How would one of you
go on? Oh my God. I'm sorry.
No, bro.
My daughter's yelling at me because her teacher just told her, at 1:15, you gotta go on Go Noodle. Or sorry, that's my daughter saying it in that fashion. So I've set a timer for 1:15, Aubrey. Thank you. Dude, you should see my phone. I've got timers throughout the day. And when my daughter hears it, she's like, okay, Dad, what do I do next?
You know what we are? We're TAs.
Oh my God.
We're TAs.
We're TA. Dude.
So check this out.
I should be getting paid minimum wage for that, right?
One of my sons was on the computer, and the teachers are like, hey, messaging us, you need to be careful, you need to be watching your kids on what they're going on different pages, blah blah blah. Okay, so we have to like constantly be over their shoulder watching them. So there goes my office work, there goes all my shit that I have to do, you know, like basically throughout the whole entire day.
It's funny you say that, because like the state of Tennessee just passed or just signed into law or something like that, parents have to sign a waiver in Tennessee that they won't be eavesdropping on their students' work.
So they asked me to keep an eye on him, and then I went up there one day, right, and he had his computer turned to the side, like towards the wall, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You know, I'm thinking, hey, he's on something. And he goes, my teacher just asked me to face a wall because she doesn't like when people walk in the background. And I'm thinking, now we're being a little nitpicky, don't you think? You know, like we're all doing the best we can, okay? Right. Some of these kids are sitting on their beds doing their homework in their pajamas. Like, you know, like, I mean, I'm looking,
you should like type into YouTube, children doing PE for distance learning. There's one video right now on Barstool Sports that I'm just cracking up, because it's just this little kid who's in his living room just doing circles. Like they have to send a video to their PE teacher that they're doing something physical. Dude, I feel bad for one of my daughter's classmates. One of the classmates straight up said, sorry, I'm living in a very, very small apartment and I don't have room to do PE. And
that's
I'm
what
like,
I mean. That's exactly what we're talking about.
My heart goes out to her, dude.
That's what I'm asking you is, how are single parents doing it? Because I know I've been reading some of my friends that are single mothers, and they're talking about how difficult it is and how embarrassing it is that they're riding a bus with their mother to work, working off of a hotspot on the bus, trying to stay connected, and then her mom's getting scolded from the teacher saying, hey, they need to be online, while the mom's also trying to get to work with her daughters, who are going to have to sit there while her mom does work. I mean, this wasn't thought through. I get that it was like a scramble the jets type of thing, you know, like, hey, we got to figure something out, but this wasn't thought through, and they're not making it easy for people that want to do homeschooling. They're giving them the runaround. Another
problem we just recently ran into this morning was someone hacked one of the students' accounts.
I was waiting for that to happen.
And wrote onto the chat board, "Fuck all you little bitches." And I'm looking at the chat room like, little Abigail didn't say that. That's bullshit. So, and then
I'm waiting for that. I was waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, well, it's happened multiple times.
I've heard rumors live right now.
Well, the problem is, dude, is they've got, and I'm maybe revealing too much information, but what they do is they sign all these kids up onto like a Google account.
Oh, I know.
And then they've got the same password for each and every one of them. So you take a really common name like John Smith or something, and you type that in and then use the password that's used for every other kid, you can cause some havoc. You're right. It wasn't thought through.
No, this was not thought through. And again, like I said, you're not making it, at least make it easy for people that are wanting to go, I'm going to homeschool because I can't be at my home between the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. every fucking day and be expected to go to work too and also pay for the internet bill to keep them on. You know, like the internet's not cutting anybody any deals right now. So,
oh, dude, for the first time ever, I got a message from Xfinity saying that, hey, you're coming up on 90% of your data plan, and I've still got like 5 days left of I'm doing work online, my daughter's doing Zoom meetings, and
take it up with the school.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, cool. Can you reimburse me for
send the bill to the school?
Oh God, it's
I'm serious. Cut us some sort of give us $50. I mean, Jesus, like at least help us out with the freaking internet bill, because
these are our tax dollars at work. I'm just saying.
How many times have I said that to you? I said that what pisses me off the most is when I hear shit about you can play badminton on the beach, but only singles, not doubles. Oh, okay. So you mean to tell me somebody was paid to write this shit? Because if I said, hey, solve our COVID issue and figure a way out how people could go out and do things safely, and somebody came back to me with, you can't go to the beach with a lawn chair, you can just stand, and you can only play badminton with singles, I'd say you're fired.
I'm pissed off at the little tiny arbitrary little tiny rules that some human is making with zero science behind these decisions. What's the difference?
Where's the data?
What's the fuck? No one can explain to me what the difference is between going to Walmart indoors in line with 200 other
and getting a fade,
and right, being in one room with still observing social distancing. My booth where I'm getting my hair cut is different. It's still 6 feet to 10 feet away from someone else getting their haircut. How the fuck? I don't.
I like the new one now, though. Like a lot of conservatives are saying, they're saying, if I can go stand in line at Walmart, I can go vote in a booth.
Yep. Well, listen, all you got to do is let's just pretend like this is scientific, right? And just, hey, every voter 6 feet away from another voter. Let's just put the lines at the voting booth. You could pay someone to do that, right? That they're volunteers or whatever.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to ask you about something specifically. So we've all seen the Nancy Pelosi hair blowout, Hairgate and Salon Gate. So, anyways, we've seen the Nancy Pelosi, and look, there's no fucking excusing it. And her reasoning was just so stupid. I was set up. Come on, the lady probably heard that Nancy Pelosi wants to come in. I'm sure that the owner went, yeah, and probably did what I would have done and go, yeah, go ahead, let her come in. I want to see how she handles this. Because, you know what?
No offense, but like all the salon owners across the state are desperate for work. So you get a politician or someone of power. What would have been the consequence if she would have said no?
So
it turns out the consequence of saying yes is she just posted, sorry, I'm done. I'm done in San Francisco.
I'm sure she is. I would be too. I'd be like, I'm shutting my shop up. Like that is literally, that's bold. That's some brass, idiotic balls right there. Anyways, so where I'm going with that is, you have that happen, and this is like a huge scandal for the left and everybody that supports Biden, right?
Right.
So now Biden's swing back at Trump, and their whole thing is Trump's was on tape. Remember, the whole thing with him on tape saying that he knew that coronavirus was fairly deadly in February, and everybody's like up in arms about that. I'm confused about that one because I just thought we just dropped 150,000 deaths down to 9,000. We're like, the CDC were like, oops. And they're still trying to chuck out that corona's deadly, like super, super, super deadly.
Again, it's only deadly if you've got a pre-existing condition. And therefore, and if you have a pre-existing condition, you should probably be taking precautionary measures already.
I mean, what's going on?
It's, you know what I can't stand are the Biden ads. And then at the very end, him and Kamala Harris are holding hands and they're both wearing their masks. It's like, is that necessary? You're in a Hollywood booth probably, right? Getting that picture taken. You don't need it. It's unnecessary. But it's to send a message. It's to send a message. Please continue to be scared. And that's his number one policy objective. As he said, when I come into office day one, I'm going to put a mask mandate in place. Well, by the time you're in office, dude, you're going to, if you're in office, I should say, the problem is 90% gone. Like the severity of this virus has gone down to a minuscule point.
That's kind of where I'm what I'm asking is like, so it's not that serious. Like
in my personal opinion,
all you've got is Trump saying, yeah, this is pretty deadly back in February. And then they investigated it and it was blown out of proportion to be super deadly, and it's not deadly, but you're saying
you had members of Congress saying that you're going to have 1 million dead. You're going to have 1 million dead Americans on your hands.
Well, remember Pelosi saying that there needs to be mail-in ballots because nobody will be able to leave their homes in November unless it's for a blowout.
Well, did you see that there's now sorry, my cat just jumped up.
It's all good.
Here. Let's get this motherfucker out of here. Bye, cat. Okay. So the problem I have with this whole idea of everyone needs a mail-in ballot is they just came out with, there's fraud right now at the EDD sending, 15, 20 pieces of mail to unemployment recipients. And so there's a lot of chatter right now about how many checks are you guys issuing to people? Who's gaming the system? And the only response they had was like, "Oh, we'll fix it." So a problem's going on, and you weren't fixing it to begin with, and it took a formal investigation now to see why you're mailing out multiple pieces of mail to individuals on EDD. It's probably going to happen the same thing with mail-in voting.
Well, there's some sort of scam. I mean, that's an old scam. The ballot thing, that's an old school scam, and there's obviously they're trying to do something. Whether it's to do a scam through mail-in ballots or it's to buy that extra couple months of counting ballots, I mean, whatever, just to muddy the waters, just to give them some sort of argument.
Well, you also saw, did you see the clip of Hillary Clinton saying that Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstance? But yet back in 2016, one of her biggest talking points on the debate stage was Donald Trump is not going to concede no matter the result of the election. And that's just wrong.
I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast with Ron White, and it was he brought something up that I was actually kind of interesting. He's all, I had this one guy come up to me a few years back, but he's like, this is like 3 years ago, and out of nowhere, after we're talking, he starts talking to me about Hillary Clinton and this pedophile ring that she's running and this island and everything. And he said, Ron's like, what? He's like, what? He's like, it just didn't make any sense. He just thought he was like one of the crazy conspiracy theorists. Yeah. And he goes, Fast forward 3 years, he gets all this shit starting to come out, and it's like parallel to exactly what this guy was talking about. And then, boy, I think a lot of that stuff's tied in here. I do. I think a lot of that stuff's getting hidden. The Epstein stuff, I mean, where are we at with it? Right? Oh,
Right.
Oh.
Go noodle time.
Social distance learning.
Do your go noodle time. It's 1:15. Do what your teacher told you to do.
Excellent, TA.
Excellent.
That's what we have to be here for.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the lives of working parents.
Stay on your
Sorry,
computer.
all you celebrities out there.
Remember that? You remember that that article about how bad devices are for kids to be on all day?
Okay. On that topic, my daughter, for the first time since she was like 4, is now taking naps because it's the staring at that damn screen is draining her, dude. And and the more parents I talk to, they're like, you know what? That's interesting because that's happening to my daughter too, or my kid.
They're getting aggravated too. Mine are having shorter tempers because their computer will freeze or the Zoom will freeze, and then my kids will freak out thinking that it's something they did and that they're gonna get in trouble for not being on. And it's like,
well, it's probably a mix of things too, right? They're getting used to a new technology for one, and secondly, they're oh my God, Aubrey, I need you to be quiet. I'm sorry. They're getting used to new technology. They've been stuck indoors for months on end. They probably want to see their freaking friends from school, like physically. And I don't care. Me and you right here, believe me, I wish we could be doing a cheers physically, but we can't. And it's that lack of human interaction and physical touch. You know, that's the shit that makes us human. That's the one thing that separates us from robots, right?
yeah, we're pretty separated by people that want to go back to work and people that absolutely do not want to go back to work. I mean, that's literally what it comes down to at this point. It's either you really want to go back to work or you really don't.
I kind of wish I was a teacher because then I'd be like really just chilling right now.
How many teachers
How cool is it
think pull the Ron Burgundy where they're not wearing any pants?
Many.
I would have a hard time not.
There was a teacher that got found that wasn't wearing a shirt during one of his
I saw that.
His instruction sessions or whatever. Oh God, man.
This whole thing's a mess. I can't wait until elections are over. I really can't wait. But I don't even think it's going to be over. That's the problem. I think it's going to be drug on and argued that it wasn't enough ballot. You know, we have to wait, and it's.
Yeah.
No debates. Like nothing yet.
Yeah. On that topic. Nancy Pelosi, like a couple of weeks ago, says that there doesn't need to be a debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. It's irresponsible to do that. And
is it?
In my head, I'm like, he would literally be the first presidential candidate to not debate in like 80 plus years. All because of what? COVID? No, listen, if you truly wanted to make it happen, you do something like me and you are doing right now. Let's have a moderator. You know what? I actually promote that because then you can actually have someone to press the freaking mute button when someone's going over time. Sorry, you're done. Instead of, yeah, I'm just saying. But the debates are already rigged anyways because you never have the Libertarian candidate. You never have the Green Party candidate. You never have the American Independent Party candidate. There are more parties than you think, but we're always lumped into one of the two because everyone is so, left or right, black or white. Oh my gosh. My daughter says that I need to be quiet because she's doing a flip grid or a video or something.
Flip grid.
You're doing a flip grid, which by the way, I learned what a flip grid is. Can we take a 5-minute break while my daughter does this stupid little project?
I I'm wanting to kick
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
then
sure
we'll-
if she's live or not, which is
and-
pretty
and-
bad. She's
and-
kicking me.
Yeah, and then we'll go to the phones,
Sounds great.
and then we'll move on to sports.
On to sports.
Football. Okay, we're back.
Noise.
Well, we're gonna go to the phones here because we got a phone call coming in from Quillog.
Hi, this is, yeah, you know who I am. So, you know what really grinds my gears this week? It's when restaurants say they have a secret sauce, but it's just fucking Thousand Island. It's like the secret's out on your secret sauce because everyone's got it. You know, come up with something creative for once. Thousand Island, great with In and Out. I don't know where that is, but I've heard it's good. It's from California. I'm not from there. But yeah, so just if you have a secret sauce, make it original. Thanks. Bye.
Man, that guy, man, that fucker's a character.
Peter.
I agree. Thousand Island with In and Out's fantastic. Maybe it's just because it's always warm when I have it. I don't know.
The spread, yeah,
The spread.
always gets spread. They
Always.
ask you, when they
Animal
ask me if
fries,
like
man.
I want ketchup with my fries, I look at them like, "The fuck is wrong with you? You want your goddamn spread?
You're not American.
Give me spread. How many spread do you want? All of them.
How many? 5? Sir, you ordered 1 order of fries. I don't care.
You know how much it takes to cover those fries?
I think it's like 2 or 3 packets.
At least 3. It's a minimum. It's
a minimum of 3 on the animal fries,
Yeah.
right? That,
Well,
I think
I don't know what it is on the animal fries. Did you work there?
No, I wish. Because, dude, have you seen, like, if you're a manager of an In-N-Out, you make 6 figures? Fucking nuts.
You start at what, 16, 17 an hour?
Yeah, now you do. The big ploy back in the day when I was in high school, like minimum wage was like $8.50, and it was like, hey, come work for In-N-Out. You'd make $13.50 an hour, and you're like, holy shit, yeah, I want to go work there, but I don't want to be the potato guy. Something about peeling potatoes. I'm the dumbass that get my hand crunched in one of those potato crunchers.
I can see that. I can see that.
Thanks.
Have you had a pretty
It's a
gnarly
ginger
accident?
thing?
Well, you didn't have any accidents at the
Oh,
restaurant.
dude, gnarliest
when I worked.
accident I've ever had preparing food was I was 18 and I was working. I was a pizza delivery boy, and we had pizza with cornmeal at the bottom, and I had the duty of cleaning the cornmeal off of this big rotating oven. And one time, I was cleaning it, and I swiped maybe a little too hard, and I got flaming hot cornmeal and like pepperoni juice in my eye, and there was a blister on my eye. It was
Burns are fucking
Oh,
terrible.
I hate burns, dude.
Terrible.
Mm.
They don't go away. That's what's worse, or what's bad about them is they just don't. Ugh, I fucking hate getting burned.
I was dealing with a blister on my freaking eye for like 2 days straight.
I would only imagine. Anyways, so that game last night, not that eventful. Kansas City toppled over the Texans. They've obviously got a little bit of work to do. They didn't look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1, and everybody's coming off this weird freaking COVID thing. I was actually happy to see that there's fans in the stands, and that wasn't pumped in.
That was really cool.
Oh.
I hope that they implement that league wide. I know it's probably by a state basis. But just at least having 25% capacity is huge.
You know how good it felt to hear the analysts talk and just watch a game and realize it wasn't preseason. We are now game 1. This is live. I mean, I'm ready. Bro, Chargers and Bengals. I cannot start my season off with a loss to a Los Angeles team. Like, fuck LA. There's no good. There's no good Los Angeles football teams. Sorry, can't.
LA Chargers. Does Tyrod Taylor even have anything? Like, it's going to be so heavy on Austin Eckler and the run game.
But Joe Burrow's, this is his first snap, his professional first snap.
I kudos to him because I picked up Tyler Boyd, and I think he's going to have a really good year.
Unless Joe Burrow gets hurt, because there's nobody else throwing to Tyler Boyd.
Oh God, yeah.
Literally, there's who the backup is? Ryan Finley.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. Neither do the Bengals.
Come pick up Nick Mullins from the Niners, because
I still am pissed off that they didn't get Newton. 1-year deal. Newton. Let Burrow learn a few things.
I also picked him up as my backup quarterback in one of my leagues.
He might do well. I think he's going to light it up against Miami. That's a divisional game. He's got something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go balls out Michael Jordan on that game.
I think he's going to prove. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong that he still got it.
He's going to try. Belichick might try to tighten the reins a bit, but
I saw Edelman come up on the injury report, or maybe he missed a practice. So I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he's trying to make his way down to Tampa. Another timer.
Ignore that timer because she's done for the week. Yeah. So
it's the freaking weekend.
It's the weekend. Boop boop.
I don't even know what that means anymore.
What's a weekend?
Yeah, there's no weekends.
The days are running together.
It's called week day. It's literally just 1 week day.
I swear to God, if they cancel Halloween, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, Los Angeles already did.
Los Angeles said highly recommended.
I thought they banned trick-or-treating.
They banned it, and then he's like, okay, I fucked up.
That's good. Well, you're
funny how
people are going to listen.
Funny how the mayor
Here's what's
thinks
going to happen
up about that, but not defunding the police.
You know what's going to happen is people are going to go trick-or-treating, and there's going to be fights because people are going to want them. The people that take COVID extremely serious are going to be pissed off at the people in the streets and in the front of their house.
I just feel like every time that there's something positive, there's a positive reason why there's a congregation, right? Or, touching of things. I don't know. It's like almost an excuse that the politicians use, like, oh, well, that's the fucking reason why the cases are going up again. And it sucks, because you have this church gathering of 12,000 people that showed up to the freaking Capitol building. And everyone was super stoked on it. And now you've got the county of Sacramento that's like, that was probably a really bad idea because we're going to see an increase in cases. Shame on you. I hate that phrase. Shame on you for worshiping God.
And what are the protests?
Exactly.
And again, I keep saying this every single week. If COVID was that serious, why are hospitals not filled with protesters? Why?
Well, I'll tell you why. Well, statistically, they're all in that under 50 age group. A lot of them young kids that probably in their 20s.
And
people all hyped up on communism and no, I'm kidding.
I'm fresh. There was one day this week where we had to go grocery. I mean, and that's the part where you're reminded every single day. You have to go grocery shopping. You have to plan it around your kid's schedule to be online.
That's irresponsible for you to physically be. Why don't you just Instacart? No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
I'm beyond frustrated. Anyways, yeah. Why do we keep going back to this?
Well, it's a huge part of our lives.
It is. That's why I was saying it was so fulfilling and satisfying to watch a football game yesterday and listen to the commentary and literally, and that is why. And if anybody wants to know why people are so pissed off at Black Lives Matter or being involved in sports or politics in general or anything like that, it's because what I'm talking about right now, and I'm not justifying it, I'm just saying, if you want to understand, what I'm talking about right now is why we love sports. It's turning that off. It's turning the daily off. It's watching two pure athlete or it's teams of athletes gladiator it out, and battle
in the Coliseum.
Without dying. And and
not yet.
Yeah. The extreme football league is coming. No, anyways.
Fight your opponent and COVID at the same time.
Mad Max football. The Mad Max football league.
We have spiked footballs with COVID all over them, and you don't know who's going to get it next.
Well, anyways, so
that'd be a weird twist to Hard Knocks.
But that's what it was about. And I've heard plenty of guys say, hey, this was when this all started, when Kaepernick started this whole thing and kicked it off. Guys would talk about the fact that Sunday was their days to congregate, slap hands, order pizzas and drink beers and just rah around each other and give each other a hard time, but in good faith,
camaraderie.
Yeah. And what it turned it into, what they started realizing was every Sunday they were arguing. And then one guy wouldn't show then the next Sunday. And then nobody wanted to show because everybody was all butthurt about each other's politics. And it's like, that's not why we were there.
Yeah. And
that's why people are pissed.
Just watching the commercials yesterday, it's so in your face, the politics that are being played. It's this, everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone do your part. All these little propaganda pieces, even just in the commercials, and the end zones have got, let's end racism once and for all. And it's like, dude, we're all working towards it. Like, we all understand that it's an issue. We all get it. Like, no one wants to be a fucking racist. And you had the Miami Dolphins that came out yesterday that were like, we're just tired of the empty gestures. Like, what is all this really working towards? Okay, cool. You've got a name on the back of your helmet. You've got is that really going to bring about the change that's necessary? It's not.
I think it's all political for the most part. I think people do want change, but I don't think that they're going about it.
It's a culture
for the
shift,
most part,
man. It's a needed culture shift of, we've got communities in little pockets that don't recognize the issue, and then other pockets that hyper politicize it. And
which is the majority of it. Let's be honest.
I'm sitting here in California, we're talking about defunding the police when we literally just passed laws last year that haven't even been implemented yet regarding police use of force, and we haven't even seen the positives out of those changes. Like, why? And all of a sudden we're to defund the police. That's a really extreme response when we haven't even seen the work that's been done with what happened last year. And this is California. We're the most progressive freaking state in the nation. And we're all upset about things that are happening in freaking Wisconsin and Wyoming and these states that are really homogenous communities. California is one of the most blended communities in the nation. And we're getting riled up about things that aren't even within our control. Sorry.
Well, that's what I know. You're going into the whole reason. Exactly what I was talking about was watching football last night was like turning everything off for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean it. It was this weird hypnotic listening to the commentator. It was they didn't bring up COVID that other than like what the players how their test process was. But other than that, it was pure commentary, which I appreciate the hell out of, because And again, I keep telling my buddies that are all anti this in their sports. If you're for the First Amendment, you can't be against
You're
it.
You're 100% for the First Amendment, or you're not.
Yeah, it's again two-way street. That, and because they always ask, how do you do it? How do you watch? It's like, that's what I'm for the First Amendment, and I see it on the back of their jerseys, and I go, yeah, cool. If you think you're doing well, cool. I'm here to watch you play and be a stellar athlete and be a teammate. That's what I'm doing. I'm watching you guys play, and I want to watch some highlights. Well, the only reason I watch, I mean, honestly, I'm not here to watch you guys in your politics. If I were here to watch you and listen to your politics, I'd be here to watch you and listen to your politics, but I'm not.
Yeah. On the Niners, Eric Armstead said straight up, like, listen, you care so much about me athletically, but the moment that I open up my mouth and start talking about political issues, you want to disown me? Like, no, you're either 100% with me or you're 100% not. Like, you're not only going to be.
I can think that you're a stellar athlete and go, yeah, but your policies are a little whack.
Right. Exactly.
I can think you're a stellar actor or actress and still think your policies and your politics are a little whack. I mean, that has nothing to do with it. It's the reason I'm watching you or admiring you is because you've overcome things that physically that people hardly can ever do, and you've made it into this elite group of individuals that are allowed to be on live television and get paid humongous amounts of money to play a sport my kid loves doing for free. Like it. So,
it's not free. You got to pay $150.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Like, if he wants to go out in the backyard and dribble a ball, he can go do that.
Right.
Like, that's what it makes him happy. And it's not. He doesn't go out and fix the tiles on my roof or decide to go. Yeah, I mean, that's not what makes him happy. There's a lot worse things that they could be doing. But anyways, that people didn't want that shit in their sports, and that's why there was a big uproar. It's not that they're super anti their politics. It's like, hey, no, we just came here to turn it off. That's it.
Right.
I sit here and talk with you because we like to bounce things off each other and stuff. I don't like to argue with you. I like to hear your sides of points, and maybe you've got something that I didn't see.
Oh, fuck you, dude. No, I'm kidding.
Right?
Don't play.
Yeah.
Let's start the argument right now. No, I'm kidding.
What would we argue about?
Honestly, I think we're very similar. Yeah. They're gonna have 12. No.
You're more gentle with the way you say things. I think I'm just more. I'm probably
You're blunt. You're blunt, and I'm politically correct. I'm politically wired.
You know what we are? If we are basically the equivalent to that Barack Obama skit on Key and Peele, where you would be the guy telling you, and I would be your blunt translator.
Right.
He's like, "Listen up, motherfuckers. You're all not working."
I'm like, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Sup, motherfuckers? Yeah.
What I think I have here are people that are fiscally irresponsible. All you guys fucked up with your money.
Yeah. Speaking of that, God, California's in a shithole.
Oh, dude.
What?
Are we gonna see a state income tax above 15-16% increase?
Dude, we're already at 13. Like,
are we gonna go to 16?
Oh, we probably will, and it'll only be on the rich because everyone's so fucking progressive, and it pisses me off because, like, dude, anyone with an income of over $150,000 already, like, all those individuals, pay the nation's like 90% of the taxes in this country. Like, the top 20% pay 80% of the taxes in this country, and everyone else gets a rebate, and we're all looking for, tax kickbacks. I'm just to a point personally where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll keep paying my taxes, but what am I seeing out of it? Am I seeing any benefit out of it? No. I'm like, oh, they're going to the roads that I'm not fucking driving on because I'm stuck at home with COVID. I'm not seeing a benefit of my tax dollars. Even of course, back to the education piece, right? I'm paying a shit ton of money to live in California, and I'm not seeing any of the benefit.
Yeah, you can't go out. Where are you going to go right now? We were literally trying to think of places to go, and almost
go to the
half the
grocery store?
year we're dealing with these wildfires, and it's like, well, can we go north? Nope. Oregon's dealing with wildfires. Can we go west? Nope. All the coast is fucking orange, like we're on the red planet. I was telling my mom, I was talking with her on the phone, and I said, if we were like a more Neanderthalic ancient civilization, we would think the gods are fucking mad at us. Like,
or we would see fire. We need to fucking move.
No, I'm just thinking like the sky, and everything, the way it looks. Like, we would think something's wrong. We would think, oh shit, we apologize for the goat we just ate. It's something would be. Anyways, it's insane what's going on with California. But yeah, we couldn't figure out where to go, whether it would be Nevada, or we can't go south, we can't go west. The only thing is really deep east.
Yeah, my daughter was talking to me today. She's like, "Daddy, I want to get away from the smoke. Let's go to the beach." Because all the time, like, what did we do to get rid of get away from the heat? You go to the beach.
Yeah,
and
you go where it's windy.
I said, the beaches are all the same way. It's everyone's smoky right now.
Let me show you a picture, Aubrey, of Mars and then the beach, and I'm gonna have you tell me which one's which.
There's a funny one, like, oh great, we've got the filter that we use in every scene for when we shoot in Hollywood for Mexico.
One showed a picture of the Bay Area, and it was all Bay Area 2020, and then it showed the scene out of Blade Runner 2049. Yes. And it was like identical colors.
Oh my gosh, my daughter wants to say a joke. What's the joke? Come, you know what? Let's bring Aubrey on for a joke.
Okay, we're gonna go PG rated for a second.
She's continuing to just be in the background. Daddy, I want to tell you a joke, and I'm like, go. Okay, come here. Tell the joke. What do you want to say to the audience? This is my daughter, Aubrey Rhodes. Say the joke.
I'm just trying to remember.
If you just had it. No?
I remember.
You remember?
What is a cat without a head?
A cat without a head?
I mean, what happens when a cat gets its head chopped off? It gets decapitated.
Good one.
That was 7-year-olds, man.
I saw one today. Tell her this one.
A 7-year-old?
No. Yeah, 7-year-old. I actually did see a 7-year-old. He was running up my stairs.
Oh, great.
Tell her this one. Tell her, what do you call people that look after chickens? Chicken tenders.
I like that one.
Yeah, joke for the week.
But
anyways, all right. Well, let's end this up with some sports, because this is going to be one hell of a weekend, bro. So we have a deciding game for the East Coast for conference finals tonight, which is Boston. Hopefully
Toronto.
Boston. Hopefully Boston. I can't bring myself. Anyways. Then we have tomorrow night, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Okay.
And then we have first week opening football Sunday, which my Bengals, new quarterback, their Chargers, new quarterback for them. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the week looks pretty up in the air. You got the Pats going out with Cam Newton against the Dolphins.
You said up in the air, and I've got to make this point really quick. There's talk that if the air levels for air quality, the numbers, if the air quality index says the number is above 200, you can't play.
What?
And so in San Francisco right now, or Santa Clara, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, Santa Clara will be worse.
Santa Clara has an air quality index right now above 200. So if they were playing a game today at Levi Stadium, they legally could not play that game. So that's something to keep an eye on for the Bay Area. I don't know. I keep thinking the freaking Raiders are in Oakland. But yeah, the Niner game may be canceled.
Well, the only West Coast games that are going to be taking place are Santa Clara. Nope. Seattle's playing in Atlanta.
Okay.
That's game 1. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's literally, I mean, even the Chargers are playing at the Bengals in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So the only West Coast games are the Rams and the Niners.
They both could get canceled.
Yeah, and Denver on Monday night, but I don't see, unless the smoke travels all the way to Colorado by then.
Nah, it'll be clear. And they're so high up, like the air quality will be a lot better.
Yeah, but it's an up in the air game, bro. Tampa Bay at New Orleans, Drew Brees.
That's a game I can't wait to watch.
Woo! That's going to be interesting. I can't call it.
How many times has Drew Brees gone up against Tom Brady?
But now it's Tom Brady in the Bucs.
Right. Do you think Tampa Bay will make a playoff spot this year? I think you got to really look at that division, though.
Who's in the division?
It's the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers, and
that's
the Bucs.
Not an easy. Well, the Panthers are rebuilding.
Panthers are rebuilding, but they're rebuilding decently. Like you've got Christian McCaffrey, and you just got Teddy Bridgewater.
If you can hone Bridgewater's
I'm really pulling for that guy, dude.
Dude, he's a flip of the coin. Some days he shows up, he lights it up. And then other days, it's like, where'd you go?
He filled in for Drew Brees great last year when he was out. Or was it last year or was it the year before? I don't know.
Bro.
You know, I think it's going to be the X factor in that game. Tampa Bay, New Orleans.
What's that?
Taysom Hill. Dual threat quarterback. The obvious heir of Drew Brees.
What do you see happening there? You see Bruce Arians like running the show, or do you see him just letting Tom loose?
I think Arians knows how good of a veteran that Tom Brady is, that he's just going to let Brady do whatever.
That's kind of how I feel it's going to go.
I think Arians has got to focus more on his defense, and he's got to focus more on his younger players than the established veterans.
What do you think the highest scoring game is this week?
Like combined? Like for combined points? Or are you talking about like is there one team that's going to score more points? The most, I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. I think the one team that stands out in my mind that has the most potential, or at least has the most reason to light up the scoreboard and really say, hey, we're not done, is New England. I think Belichick and Newton both have something to say, and they should say it out the gate, that we are not done. We do not need Tom. It's Belichick. You know what I mean? I think this is the season we're going to see who was it. Is it Brady or is it Belichick? Because Brady basically has the majority of the weapons that he had in the Pats. Now he just and
they just picked up Leonard Fournette. It's almost cheating. You know, you've got Godwin, you've got Evans, you've got Fournette, now you've got Gronkowski, which is basically Tom's security blanket.
What I think they didn't account for, and it seems like in the articles, and maybe it's just fluff, they didn't account for the humidity. I've heard that they're having some issues acclimating to the change, and I could definitely see going from New England, from freaking basically Boston to Florida. How much more of a culture shock could you get? First of all, and how are those two teams in the same division?
They're considered South, NFC South.
How?
How are they considered? Because they all live in the swamps. No, I'm kidding. Well, kind of.
I'm not like thinking wrong, right? Miami is in New England's division, right?
Miami's in New England's division, yes. Wait, how are those two?
Yeah.
That I don't freaking know. It's
right. I'm not thinking. Yeah, here we go. I'm looking at it. Where's Miami?
Personally, I think.
Yep. Yeah,
that
it's
Miami
Bills,
and New. My God, no. The Carolina Panthers should swap.
That would make sense. That would make more sense. That would make more sense than Miami, because literally you have two New York teams, a Boston team, and Miami.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you get a vacation twice a month, twice a season.
It's almost like they're trying to prove how much Florida doesn't matter. Everybody hates Florida. I don't understand why. I need to go visit and understand why.
It's the Gators.
You know what? That's one reason I won't move there.
It's the Gators, the tourists, and the old people.
I have a really good friend of the family who used to live there, or grew up there, and she said they won't. They had a black bottom pool, which is really kind of dumb because the Gators would always get into your pools, and you'd never know if they were in there unless you had like a clear, like bright pool. Anyways, yeah. Could you? No. Nope. No. No. The only reason I would live there is if my other option were the was the freaking, what was the river that they went on Anaconda, where out in the jungle.
Yeah, the Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon somewhere. Yeah, that's the only. If that was my other option, I could do Florida. I don't need a pool. I don't need to go in the water. I don't need to go in the water.
I've heard of too many stories of like alligators eating up like children at Disney. Like, it's crazy.
Well, that's why they call it Florida Man. The Florida Man got you, because they always say it's Florida Man. Zombie.
Yeah, you type in your birthday and type Florida Man into the search engine, like,
yeah,
and some crazy story will pop up. Florida Man.
Yep.
Steals.
Remember the dude on bath salts that was eating people's faces? Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
Dude. Shit happens in Florida.
Yeah, no. I think
it doesn't happen anywhere else.
I think the heat gets to people.
Yeah.
I think it drives them nuts. I don't know. But anyways, I think the game this week that has probably the most reason to be the highest scoring game is New England and Miami. I think Miami probably should smell blood in the water with Tom being out and should light it up, but also New England should have something to prove with both. Like I said, both Newton and Belichick really have something to prove, and I hate Belichick. I might be a Celtics fan, but I will never, ever wear Pat's colors.
I think the
Unless the other option was Pittsburgh.
I think the next highest scoring game though is going to be Colts Jaguars. Because
Rivers
both of their defenses aren't good.
Rivers is going to have to get used to a dome.
True.
Which isn't too hard, but it is.
I don't even know who the Jaguars quarterback. Are they going with Minshew? Gardner Minshew? I don't even know who their freaking running back is. I think it was like something Robinson or I don't know.
No, they're going with Gardner Minshew.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to say I think the Buccaneers and Saints are actually going to be the high-scoring game.
You think so?
I think so.
It says that the Jags are pretty banged up at the running back.
Yeah, they are. And did you know that this is going to be the first time in NFL history where two starting quarterbacks over the age of 40 are matched up against each other?
Is it really?
With the Buccaneers and Saints, yeah.
Just do it. I'm ready. But that's at the same time as I can't watch that one. That's the same time as my my Bengals and Chargers game.
It's the same time as my Niner game.
Yeah.
So I'll just have red
to watch highlights.
DVR it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what was our do we have a bet going, or are we just doing some sort of
Didn't we do pick'ems?
Yeah, we did pick'ems.
I thought we did pick'ems.
Some sort of is something on the line?
It was pizza.
That's right. We have a pizza delivery bet. That's right.
Right.
All right. All right. Well, you
should create a graphic.
I'm going to. That's what I wanted to know too. All right, cool. So you've got one on me.
Okay.
And we'll go with the rest. I got to figure out what our picks were. I got to go listen to our.
Should we go back or should we establish new ones? Because a lot of shit has happened.
Can we establish new ones, or are they set? I mean, this is rule making time.
I almost feel like you should,
because I'm going to get my buddy in on this too.
Do you draft your fantasy team before a single preseason game is played? Well, that doesn't apply to this season. But do you draft your fantasy team in January? No, you draft your fantasy team like 4 days
taking
before
a
the season.
2-year hiatus on the fantasy.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to come back.
You should do it, man.
It took up too much time. You know, like even my wife was like, "Yeah, I'm sure you know."
Oh yeah, my wife is like, "Why are you always on your phone?" Because I'm like,
somebody just got injured.
Yeah, exactly. I got the notification on Yahoo Sports app that.
Did you not see that they just cut Antonio Brown, Sarah? Jesus,
picking him up. Yeah. So should we?
So can we finish our baptism of a child first, please?
Okay. We need to do this now. We should just redo it.
All right. So the rest of the week we're gonna redo this. Okay. Seattle, Atlanta.
Seattle.
I gotta take ATL.
Okay.
All right. New York, Buffalo.
New York, Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm going Buffalo, dude.
Yeah, that's one I took Buffalo last. I remember taking Buffalo. Chicago, Detroit.
You got to go Detroit, and I'm going Detroit because the Bears suck. I don't even know if Nick Foles can bring that team out of anything.
All right, I'm gonna take Chicago.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take Chicago on that one. Green Bay at Minnesota.
Green Bay at Minnesota. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Minnesota.
I'm gonna take Green Bay. Miami at New England.
I'm gonna stick with. I think my original pick was the Dolphins. and I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going to take New England. As much as I hate Belichick, I do have to believe he knows a little something, something. Let's see what happens. Game 1.
And the fun stat about that one, New England is 33-7 at home since 2015.
Maybe not much longer.
Right.
All right, on to the next one. Philly at the Washington football team.
Philly.
Yeah,
I just want to say it's super funny seeing this on my NFL app too. Like just
Washington.
It's just this football team.
It says W.
A W, and then next to it's football team.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Washington. You guys need to take on the Red Tails. It's a badass name. Put a badass plane that flies overhead each game. I mean, yeah.
Some B-52 bombers just freaking fly them over
Red
the
Tails.
national anthem.
And you know what? You avoid any type of racial stereotyping. You avoid any type of you don't. It's badass.
You're not only avoiding it, you're promoting.
You're embracing not only Black culture but America too.
Truth.
Talk about unity. Washington. I'm gonna take Philly. I'm gonna take Philly every time, just because we both you and I agree. If Bengals didn't exist and the Niners didn't exist, hands down, I'd be a Philly fan.
Yep.
They're the craziest nut job fans that I would sit there and party and tailgate and probably black out with. I would be willing to black out with Philly fans, and I don't do that.
My dad got a free agent offer from Philly way back in the day, back in the 80s.
We're gonna have to talk about your dad more on an episode.
Okay.
Or maybe have your dad on, or come to him.
He's literally.
I know he's around
right now.
Yeah, well, he's up in my backyard, I think.
Okay.
No, you know what I mean? Well, he lives up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he lives up there. He's down doing some work on my house. So yeah.
Gotcha. All right. On to the next one. Las Vegas Raiders at the new Carolina Panthers.
I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, I gotta take Raiders, man.
Yeah, they've got their pieces in place,
and they just picked up. What was the other quarterback they just picked up to back up Carr?
Mariota.
Yeah, that's a nice grab. That is not a bad grab. Again, another one that the Bengals could have grabbed for a year.
Yeah. He's better than Nathan Peterman?
He's better than Ryan Finley.
That's very true.
Indianapolis Colts, the new Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Colts
too. Yeah, we're going to not differ there. Here we go. Divisional matchup, Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah,
Baker has a shit ton to prove.
And he knows it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take I think it would be dumb for me not to take the Ravens.
I think you know what? The first time we discussed this, you actually went with the Browns.
Maybe. I think it'd be dumb though, in retrospect, to not. Anyways, that was too hot of a hand last year. All right, Los Angeles at the Bengals. We already know I'm gonna take the Bengals, so go ahead.
Okay. At the Chargers, am I right?
No. Chargers at Bengals. They're in
Cincy. Okay. So
afternoon game in Cincy.
I must be fucking crazy for choosing Bengals.
I don't think you did last week either.
I didn't because I thought that the Chargers defense was better. But it looks like they lost Derwin James, their star safety, to injury. So I'm gonna have to go Bengals.
All right.
Not to mention, I really freaking need Tyler Boyd to go off in my fantasy league.
I think that's the only reason you're picking it, because
quite honestly, yeah,
you need that good juju.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the new Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the New Orleans Saints.
I'm going with Saints.
Yeah, same here.
I just think the AFC is not as strong as the NFC, just in general.
Well, they're in the dome. Drew Brees knows it, and he knows what he's going against. You know he's prepping his guys. Arizona, San Francisco.
Arizona versus San Francisco. The first time I chose this, I chose Arizona.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Ugh.
I was definitely gonna bring it up.
I'm going now. I got to change it to Niners. I have to. I just don't see them losing.
So the only games we're differing on right now
was
I think
was the
the New
Dolphins
England,
Patriots. Yep, and
the Minnesota,
we also
and the Chicago.
Yep.
Oh, and Atlanta. Okay, so those are gonna be so far. Those are our deciding games. Okay, all right. So we differ enough. All right, so you're gonna take San Francisco.
Wait, did we do Titans Broncos? Oh, sorry. We're still talking. We're still talking Niners.
We're rolling down.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not Monday yet. Come on, man.
Whoop whoop. Sorry.
All
right. I'm still sticking Niners because
I think I took the Niners too.
It's great. It's gonna be great.
I took Niners last time too. I'm gonna stick with that. All right, Dallas at the Rams.
Gonna go. I gotta go. I'm rooting for Dallas.
I know. I gotta pick Dallas too. I can't pick an LA team.
Just because they're canceling Halloween. Just kidding.
God, you know what? No, I'm gonna take Rams. I have a weird feeling. I'm gonna take Rams.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Rams. All right, Pittsburgh and New York.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Their defense is just too fucking strong, man.
I can't say it. How do you say it out loud? I'm gonna take Schittsburg. All right.
Okay. I'll accept that.
And then the last game, Tennessee at Denver. This is gonna be the deciding factor if we tie it up. So we got to pick scores here. The total score. Who do you got?
I'm going Broncos, and I'm gonna say they. Are we talking about
total combined without going over?
I'm going 42,
or whoever comes closest.
42.
Okay, I'm gonna take Tennessee. 37.
Okay. Hoping it's a highly defensive game.
I'll take 37. All right. Well, so the picks are in. Somebody's getting a pizza.
Pizza picks.
Yep.
Spinny and the Beard's pizza picks.
I'm gonna get my other buddy in on this. He's gonna be in. He's gonna be down.
Okay.
So, yeah. Somebody's getting a pizza Tuesday.
Got it. Brought to you by Mountain Mike's. No,
Mountain Mike's Round Table. Whatever you want, I guess, if I lose.
I want gourmet shit, dude.
So yeah, this is gonna be a good weekend, buddy. This is tonight. I got my it's either gonna be my last or my beginning of the next round for Celtics.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Mikey Tyson.
That to me is just weird.
What?
But they're old. It's not going to be a real fight. It's just
yes,
old
it
people.
is.
It's just old people looking to give money to charity.
I challenge you to go watch Mike Tyson train for this fight.
I've seen it
on YouTube. The dude wants to hurt the guy,
but it's a gimmick.
It's going to end in a knockout.
It's a gimmick.
There's no way it goes the full.
It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Somebody's getting knocked out.
Somebody's going to get knocked out, but it's not going to be a good fight.
So what else am I going to watch? Biden talk?
That's true. I'd rather watch someone
Trump
get knocked
take
out.
another press conference?
True.
No, I'm cracking a beer and I'm watching two dudes literally duke it out.
Are you going to pay $50 for that?
Fuck yes, I'm going to pay for that. It's Mike Tyson.
$50 for the over 50 crowd.
Yes. It is literally the only sporting event I'm allowed to go to right now.
Okay.
That's the price of basically, you know what? If I took my kids to the movies, that would be the price of that.
Would you watch Hulk Hogan wrestle Ric Flair?
And pay for it?
Yeah.
I'm not into wrestling. Like I used to be way back in the day. Like way when it was like Sting and when it was like NWO and remember Kevin Hart and the Hardy Boys and Hulk Hogan and yeah.
WWF and having
right before they changed the
Yep.
F to E. Yeah.
Yep.
Because the World Wildlife Foundation. That was such bullshit.
Save the pandas.
Yeah, how did that work out for you? Because literally, if anybody says WWF, my first mind goes to Randy Macho Man Savage going, "Ooh yeah, brother,
the cream of the crop,
the cream of the crop." I fucking love Macho Man, man. That guy's throat must have hurt so much. He must have like he was sponsored by Halls or something. Ricola. Ricola. He should have done those commercials.
Oh, dude, I would have taken a Ricola every day.
Yeah.
If he would have been the spokesperson.
Snap into a Ricola.
And like
no, but
Market Pantry freaking creamer. No, I'm kidding.
Neither Roy Jones Jr. nor Mike Tyson, you have to think about this, want to be knocked out.
Right.
But they want to end this in a knockout.
Does anyone want to be knocked out? No.
Right. But somebody's about to get knocked out. There has never been someone as vicious as Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's the GOAT when it comes to fucking heavy hitting.
Look, I'm either going to pay $50 to see it, or I might not pay $50 and still see it, or
but you can guarantee the fucking highlights are going to be on some video on YouTube 20 minutes after.
Either that or I'm watching it live. One way or another, my eyes is watching it. It literally is the only other thing that's going on. If my Celtics lose tonight, it's the only thing I got going. I can watch my Giants games. I can watch the cardboard cutouts try to catch a fly ball.
I'd pay for that. I'd pay $50 to watch that. No, I'm kidding.
It's really getting hard to be a fan. No, it's not. It's not.
It's
sports are still sports, and
sports are back. Sports are coming back
slowly. It was hard, kind of difficult watching the college football games. You watch any of those?
No.
Really?
I didn't even know they were going on.
Exactly. Stadiums were pretty empty except for the bands. And then they have those masks in their face shields. How
do you blow a trumpet with that?
No. On the football players.
Oh,
inside their face shields. They have like some sort of COVID filtration. Anyways,
every football player should just be dressed up as fucking Master Chief, like at this point, just to prevent COVID.
Right. You never know.
If you truly care about player safety, right? That would also probably prevent a shit ton of ACL injuries.
It's going to get to the point one day where we're watching these guys all plug into like a Matrix suit, and then they're just running in place on like an Oculus, and they're hitting, and we're just watching their avatars play football.
Wasn't it like 5 years ago where they had like those big robots like on the promotional pieces for the NFL?
Yeah.
Right. Everyone's just going to be in one of those suits.
Yeah, exactly. They're all going to be in like mech warrior suits.
Yeah.
Throwing footballs around that are like the size of a 2-story building.
Fucking Zords.
We're going off a tangent here. Do you remember the Steve Young commercial? Do you remember the one all super futuristic? I'm going to try to find it now. It was like super futuristic with him and Jerry Rice. And he had like a steel football. I'm not kidding. It was like a steel football, and it was like super robotic and stuff. And they like, I think they had like some sort of exoskeleton suit type of thing on.
Huh.
It was weird, but I'm gonna try to find
send it.
I am absolutely on it. But anyways, all right, buddy. Well, our picks are in, and that's it for this week. This concludes another episode of Distance Learning /podcasting with your fellow fathers that are losing.
Welcome to shitty parenting. Go in a room, lock yourself in, and do what the teacher says.
Shut up!
Shut your fucking mouth!
Not you, the teacher. I'm trying to hear football.
Shut up, Mrs. Applebottoms. That's not my teacher's name.
It's kind of a cool name.
Trying to get my pick in.
Apple bottoms.
Apple bottom jeans. I'm tangents all over the place right now.
All day. We're turning our house into a movie theater tonight.
Really?
Like literally one. Where you can get concessions and stuff, trying to like, not like literally, but like for the kids, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, or like do this whole weird, stupid thing, but it's something, you know?
Change of pace.
Anyways, all right, buddy. Well, thanks for doing this. And then one of us will be talking to the other. Well, I'll be texting you throughout the weekend, at least on Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
All right.
Well, peace out, dude.
Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Follow us, like, and subscribe. And until next time, cheers, everyone. And stay sane out there.
Over the head, the victim gets all fuzzy. He can't feel the next.
You got knocked the